pizza Friday.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I'm like, Mom, I need New York slice, Mom.
Yes. I lived in New York this summer, and I really never knew like how true that like New York pizza was until like.
Yeah.
But we're New York.
This is amazing.
This is so much better than anything I've ever
Like
had.
I'm such a snot when it comes to food. It's disgusting. It's Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. This is PSN News. Center County District Attorney Stacey Parks Miller announced charges against 12 new Beta Theta Pi brothers for their roles in the death of pledge Timothy Piazza on Monday. We'll break down what you need to know coming up.
We'll also look back on one of Penn State's most celebrated traditions, homecoming. Students and alumni alike braved the cold for the parade and other festivities last week. Stay tuned for more details.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Talia Chiarello.
And I'm Katie Filling. The results of the investigation into the recovered Beta Theta Pi fraternity surveillance footage was announced yesterday. A former member deleted the footage after the death of Timothy Piazza. The basement camera was said to not have been working on the night of the incident, but Detective David Scicitano testified in court saying that it was functioning. According to the Daily Collegian, the video showed hazing and furnishing of alcohol to pledges, including Timothy Piazza. He was furnished at least 18 drinks in 1 hour and 22 minutes. 17 former members of Beta Theta Pi are facing charges including involuntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, simple assault, hazing, furnishing alcohol, and unlawful acts relative to liquor. 5 of those members did not face charges previously in this case.
Penn State President Eric Barron is getting a 2% raise based on what the Board of Trustees says is due to his exceptional performance. Barron's pay will go from $818,000 to $834,400. He is not even the highest paid executive in the university. That goes to head football coach James Franklin, who is racking up a compensation package of $5.3 million a year. Other pay raises were given to the Penn State Milton S. Hershey Medical Center CEO and Medical School Dean Craig Hellmeyer, Senior Vice President David Gray, Provost Nick Jones, and Athletic Director Sandy Barber. According to Penn State, the raises are, quote, in line with the general salary increase program for the entire university. With military appreciation programming in full swing at Penn State, PSN News reporter Samantha Rank spoke with one student about his ties to the armed forces.
My name is Samantha Rank, and I am a field reporter for PSN News. This week, I had the opportunity to highlight some of Penn State's Military Appreciation Week events, which featured a variety of speakers, guest lecturers, a Veterans Day ceremony, a military appreciation tailgate, and a 5K for PTSD. One Penn State student discussed his connection to the military and how it has shaped him into the person he is today.
Hi, I'm Chris Carver. I'm a sophomore here at Penn State, and I'm a labor, employment relations, and educational public policy double major. My dad was in the military, or in the Army specifically, for 20 years. He retired as a major. I'd say his influence in my life has pretty much been about discipline, the idea of work ethic. Me being a young man and me being successful as I am today is a lot to do with my dad. And as far as Penn State goes, I really appreciate that they take a concerted effort to commemorate our veterans and celebrate their service.
Reporting for PSN News, I am Samantha Rank.
The theme for Penn State Thon 2018 has been revealed. It's Discovering Tomorrow's Wonder. According to the Daily Collegian, it's meant to cultivate visions of what can be accomplished when the entire Thon community unites. Public Relations Director for Thon 2018, Haley Staub, says she hopes the theme will, quote, inspire the Thon community in its efforts towards creating a brighter tomorrow today. Staub also said every day is a new opportunity for discovery, whether that be through the cutting-edge research of the Four Diamond staff, innovative fundraising efforts of Thon volunteers, or love shared between a parent and a child.
In accordance with tradition, Penn State ROTC cadets stood guard over the Nittany Lion Shrine, as they have every homecoming for more than 40 years. Today, it has grown into a 3-hour festival. This year was the first time that Lion ambassadors collaborated with the Blue and White Society and Alumni Association to organize performances and free carnival food. The night's program began with performances from student a cappella group Shades of Blue, Eclipse Indoor Winter Guard, and the Lionettes. Sue Paterno and Mike Herr, also known as Mike the Mailman, were in attendance.
And now to another Penn State homecoming tradition, the parade. PSN News reporter Jamila White spoke with student organizations as they geared up to walk around campus and downtown for the glory.
Coming to you guys live from this year's homecoming parade. Tune in to see the behind the scenes for PSN TV. Penn State Homecoming is one of the largest student-run homecoming organizations in the country. A Penn State tradition which started 97 years ago has continued to bring the Penn State community together. Katie Butchels, committee member of the parade committee, wanted to be a part of the 2017 homecoming committee for this exact reason.
That homecoming would be a great way to bring alumni, current students, future Penn State students all together to have a special day just for us.
This year's theme was Embrace the Journey, Roar with Pride, and that is exactly what 200 organizations and more than 50 floats did. Organizations and floats started lining up at 5 p.m. for a strict 6 o'clock start time for the homecoming parade. The parade was the perfect opportunity for organizations to explain who they are and what they hope to achieve on campus.
We wanted to bring awareness about the wastefulness of our culture, that we're covering our earth in plastic.
The 15-degree weather did not stop the organizations from participating in this event as they danced to stay warm. My name is Jamila White, reporting for PSN TV.
Coming up next, Alyssa Devine will bring you the latest in Penn State sports. Stay with us.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer, 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
You guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Alyssa Devine with your PSN News Sports Update. Not surprisingly, Penn State football had a blowout 35-6 win against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. The win was a total team effort, but quarterback Trace McSorley had himself a day. After Saturday, McSorley leads the Big Ten in passing yards with 2,666. His 65% completion percentage is ranked 5th nationally. He had a total of 214 yards for the day and ran in a tough 20-yard touchdown on the ground. For Penn State's other offensive superstar, Saquon Barkley, he didn't have the game he was looking for. He had a season low of 35 yards on the ground, leaving his Heisman chances on life support. Penn State's defense also had a good day, holding the Knights to only 200 yards on the ground and only 3 of 15 on third down conversions. Penn State will play its final home game this Saturday at 4 p.m. against Nebraska. Penn State basketball opened its season against the Campbell Fighting Camels this past Friday with an 86-75 win. They then took on Fairleigh Dickinson on Sunday and took home another W with an 81-57 win. But despite the W's, the Nittany Lions were a little rusty at the beginning of each game. Tony Carr was the difference maker, having a career night on Friday with 33 points. He scored 24 of those points in the second half. On Sunday, Carr once again led the offense. He had 20 points and also went 9 for 9 on the free throw line. Penn State hosts Montana tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Bryce Jordan Center. Even though the MLB is officially in the offseason, the hype surrounding superstar Aaron Judge is not. Yesterday, the New York Yankee won the 2017 American League Rookie of the Year award, unanimously. Judge is just the 10th player to win the AL Rookie of the Year award unanimously and is the first since 2014. The last Yankee to win the award was Derek Jeter in 1996. To put that into perspective, that's when I was born. In his first season, Judge led the league in runs and home runs. He had a total of 52 home runs and the most ever by a rookie. Judge also won the Home Run Derby this year, the first time ever by a rookie. Judge had the longest home run of the year at 495 feet. That's your PSN News Sports Update. After the break, Aaron Alessandrosi has your entertainment buzz.
Wow. These are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
How I'm gonna do this.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Yeah. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer, 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. nobody's ever tried to help me.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
We finally bought a place.
Holy cow!
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Erin Alessandroni here with your entertainment update. Pitch Perfect 3 actress Ruby Rose fought back on Twitter Sunday night against body shaming she called, quote, reckless and irresponsible. Nutritionist Lisa DeFazio made claims in the Star magazine about the weight of several celebrities in addition to Rose, including Christina Aguilera, Kelly Clarkson, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. In the article, DeFazio estimates Rose to weigh 44 kilos and urges the actress's family and friends to help her before it is too late. Rose took to Twitter to invalidate the nutritionist comments, saying, quote, I'd out-train you, outbox you, and sleep better at night. Leave people alone. In other news, Prince Harry delivered an emotional speech about ending the stigma surrounding mental health issues on Monday at the Mind Media Awards in London. Prince Harry, Prince William, and Kate Middleton have all actively spoken out about raising awareness on the importance of mental health. Prince Harry has publicly discussed the issues he has experienced as a result of the death of his mother, Princess Diana, when he was just 9 years old. For 70 years, the charity organization Mind has provided advice and support to empower anyone experiencing a mental health problem. Mind campaigns to improve mental health services, as well as raise awareness and promote understanding for those who are struggling. And now for what's new in entertainment here in Happy Valley. The Blue Band is hosting its annual Bandorama at 7:30 this Friday in Eisenhower Auditorium. The annual event includes performances by Symphonic Band, The Touch of Blue Majorettes, Blue Sapphire Rachel Rice, and the Blue Band Silks. The marching band will perform a, quote, season in review, highlighting the best songs it played throughout the 2017 football season. Admission to the concert is $12 for Penn State students and $18 for the general public. Tickets can be purchased at any performing arts center location on campus or online. No Refund Theater debuted its newest show, The Miracle Worker, based on the true story of Helen Keller this weekend. The play revolves around the inspiring relationship between Keller, who was left blind and deaf after a childhood illness, and her teacher Anne Sullivan. Penn State freshman Sarah Lasco portrayed Keller in a silent yet emotional performance, alongside senior Lauren Ritter, who played Sullivan. The show was performed in the Hub Robeson Center's Flex Theater to a well-received crowd. All of No Refund Theater's performances are free of admission. And that's your entertainment update. After the break, we have the chair of UPUA Student Life Committee here to talk about Mental Health and Wellness Week.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against the wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Welcome back. Tonight we're here with Kylie Higgy, the chair of the University Park Undergraduate Association's Student Life Committee. This week, student government is hosting its annual Mental Health and Wellness Week. Thanks for being here with us tonight, Kylie.
Thank you.
So first, can you tell us a little bit about the importance behind Mental Health and Wellness Week for UPUA and the Penn State community?
For sure. So we really think it's important to focus on mental health, especially for college students. We face a lot of stressors in our everyday lives, and it's sort of an issue that goes unrecognized by some people. So we're really trying to start those conversations with students.
Right. And so what all goes into planning a week like this?
Well, we are tabling every day in the hub, so coordinating that and having members there to table and talk to students throughout the day. And then we also have some events throughout the week at night. Like we had one on last night, Monday, and then we have another one on Thursday night.
So last night was an event with Joey Julius, correct? So how did that go?
It went awesome. We had Joey, and then we had Amber Chris, who speaks nationally about body positivity. So that was kind of the focus of last night.
And what are some of the other highlights that we might expect to see this week?
On Thursday, we're partnering with the Line Ambassadors for another keynote event featuring Mike Venny, who also speaks nationally, and that should be a great event as well.
All right. And so what strides have UPUA and Penn State, your group, kind of made towards helping the Penn State psychological services that we have here?
Sure. So last year during Mental Health and Wellness Week, President Barron announced that he was going to give a generous gift to counseling and psychological services to try and alleviate some of the wait time that students have experienced in the past few years for appointments with CAPS counselors.
That's so great. And finally, what message do you want this week to kind of send? What do you want people to take away from this week?
Yeah, so I think it's important for us to understand that a lot of students do face mental health issues, but also just for students to remember to take care of themselves in the little ways, and remember to just get enough sleep, take care of yourself on a daily basis.
Well, that's great. Sounds like it's a really fun week ahead. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for tonight, but thank you so much for joining us tonight, Kylie. And we'll be bringing you the latest national news update after the break, so tune in.
Surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against the wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
You guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
President Trump once again insulted North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Twitter. Trump tweeted, "Why would Kim Jong-un insult me by calling me, quote, old, when I would never call him, quote, short and fat?" At a news conference following the tweet, Trump commented that it would be a good thing if he and Kim became friends, but he doesn't expect it to happen. CNN reported that the North Korean Foreign Ministry called Trump, quote, a destroyer who begged for nuclear war during his time in Asia. On his trip, Trump had asked China and other countries to pressure North Korea's government to give up nuclear weapons.
During that trip that President Donald Trump took to Asia, another conversation sparked about Russian President Vladimir Putin and election meddling. According to USA Today, Trump said he believes that Putin believes there was no Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. But Trump himself sides with the U.S. intelligence conclusions. This came after Trump caused confusion by suggesting to reporters he believed Putin's denials more than the intelligence community's conclusions that Russia did in fact interfere. Former CIA Director John Brennan said on CNN's State of the Union, quote, "It's something that I think Mr. Trump should be ashamed of." Brennan also said Trump should be acting against Russian election meddling because Putin is trying to undermine the U.S. system.
Danica Rome, a transgender woman, is just one of several elected Democrats making history in this week's Virginia elections. The State House will get its first Latina members, its first Asian American woman delegate, Kathy Tran, as well as its first openly lesbian member, Dawn Adams. At least 11 Democratic women will join the 100-person State House, which used to have only 17 female members. Chanel Herring, chairwoman of the Democratic Caucus, commented that this diversity will play out during the legislative sessions pertaining to health care and paid family leave.
Roy Moore, the Alabama Republican U.S. Senate nominee, is questioning the timing and motives of 4 women accusing him of sexual misconduct while they were teenagers in the late 70s and early 80s. The former state chief justice appeared for the first time after the story broke at a public library in Vestavia, Alabama. He said, quote, "To think grown women would wait 40 years before a general election to bring charges is unbelievable." Paula Kobia is an attorney for one of the accusers and said Moore knows why the women are speaking up now. The allegations have led to some national Republicans rescinding their previous endorsements of Moore. But Moore says this story is false, and Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's office says the election is still set to take place December 12th.
And that's all for tonight for our regular weekly edition of PSN News. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News.
But stay tuned, we have a special political roundtable discussion on immigration reform coming up, featuring members of the college Republicans and Democrats.